Okay, good evening to all. Last class, we discussed the linear transformation from the one vector space to another vector space. And then we discussed basically all the things. So quickly we recall what is the linear transformation. Suppose V and W are two vector spaces, are vector space over the same field F. Then we say a function T from V to W is said to be linear transformation if for any if the first condition, if we take any two vector v1 v2 from domain, then is preserve the operation under addition, that is t of v1 plus v2 equal to t of v1 plus t of v2, and also is preserve the scalar multiplication, that is if we take any scalar for every alpha from the field f and any vector v in V, then t of alpha times v equal to alpha times tv. Okay, alpha into tv. Now we can merge these two conditions. We can write in the single definition, single condition is that t of some v1 plus alpha times v2, we can write this nothing but t of v1 plus alpha times t of v2. In a single condition, we can write this either 1 and 2 or this one. Maybe we can call 1 dash. So a function satisfy this condition, then we say T is a linear transformation. Okay. So now maybe we discuss some examples of linear transformation. So example, suppose we have function T from R to R. So defined by T of X is defined to be 2 times X. Now X goes to 2 times X. This is the function. Now we can easily say that this is a linear transformation. Why? Because you can take second condition. So always first you can take T of X plus Y. If you take any two element X comma Y, T of X Y by the definition 2 times X plus Y. So by the definition of T, anything is there, we have to multiply it by 2. So therefore T of X plus Y equal to 2 times X plus Y, but we can multiply 2 inside, we get 2X plus 2Y. But 2X is nothing but T of X, the image of X, and then 2Y is nothing but Ty. Therefore T of X plus Y equal to T of X plus T of Y. And then second condition, T of, if you take any scalar alpha times X is nothing but by the definition 2 times alpha times X. But by the properties of the vector space, we can adjust the scalar. We can write alpha times 2x. Okay, therefore alpha times what is 2x is nothing but T of X. Therefore T of alpha x equal to alpha times Tx. Therefore T is linear. T is a linear transformation, LT, linear transformation from R to R. So this is the first example. Now suppose if we take one more example. Suppose we take T or some other function f. F is a function from R to R defined by f of x maps to x square minus 2, x square minus x. So we define x goes to x square minus x for all x. Now we can check this is a linear transformation, or clearly this is not a linear transformation. Okay, why? Because we can easily check that. So f of, if we take some scalar 2 times x, so we have to prove that this is equal to 2 times f of x, but by the definition f of 2x equal to 2x whole square minus 2x. So 2x square is nothing but 4x square minus 2x. So what we have to prove, this is equal to 2 times f of x. So what is 2 times f of x is nothing but 2 times what is f of x? X square minus x. So this is nothing but 2x square minus 2x. But these two are not equal. Okay, therefore f of 2x is not equal to 2 times f of x. Therefore this function does not satisfy the second condition. Therefore this is not a linear. No need to check the first condition. Okay. So therefore f is not linear transform, because the power, so linear means all the power should be 1, but here we have a x square, the power is 2. Therefore we can directly say this is not linear transformation. Okay, so whenever the power is 2 or more than 1, that is not a linear transformation. Okay, okay, now we discuss one more example. These are all standard examples, so we can easily tell that the function is linear or not. Suppose I take some other function from r to r power 2 to r power 2. We take some other function we call g. From r2 to r2 defined by g of, if you take any element in R2, is of the form ordered pair x comma y. It maps to, again is an ordered pair, we define x y comma square plus 1. Suppose we define function like this, we have to show that, we have to check that this is a linear or not. So no need to check the second condition. So one more condition is there, every linear transformation maps takes 0 goes to 0. Suppose T is a linear transformation from B to W. Suppose this is a linear transformation inverse, this T should take 0 goes to 0. So this is the first condition we have to check. Okay. So, but here what is g of 0 comma 0? Is that substitute x equal to 0, y equal to 0, we get 0 comma 1. But this is not equal to 0 comma 0. Okay. Therefore, this is not linear transformation. G is not linear transformation. So first you have to check that 0 maps to 0 or not. If this 0 maps to 0, then check scalar, the second property, T of alpha x equal to alpha times Tx or not. And then we have to check the addition, T of x plus y equal to T of x plus T of y. Okay. So anyway, this function cannot take 0 goes to 0. Therefore, this is not linear transformation. Okay. So these are all standard. No, maybe I will take one more example. Now the fourth one, suppose I define some function h from R2 to R2 defined by h of, if you take any element x comma y maps to x minus y comma 2x. Actually, if we look at the term by term, so look at this term, this is a linear equation because this is actually state line equation. Look at this is like some state line because the power of x is 1, here the power of x is 1. It is in the subtraction or addition, it is okay, but it is product that is not linear. Anyway, the first one is linear, and then 2x is also a linear, therefore automatically this is linear. So we can check 0 goes to 0 because 0 comma 0 is nothing but 0 minus 0 comma 2 times 0 is 0. So otherwise you can check it. Suppose if we take 2 element, suppose I take capital X is one element, namely we take x1 comma y1, and take y is some pair x2 comma y2. Now what is x plus y? We have to sum coordinate size x1 plus x2 comma y1 plus y2. Now what is h of x plus y? We have to prove that this is equal to h of x plus h of y. So by the definition, what is h of x comma y? X plus y. So we have to subtract these two. That is the first position. We have to subtract the position. So what is the subtraction of these? X1 plus x2 minus of y1 minus y2. Therefore, we can take y1 minus y2. That is the first position. Second coordinate is nothing. You got to product the first coordinate by 2. Therefore, 2 times x1 plus x2. Now this is equal to, we can write as x1 minus y1. Just I adjust this sum. So plus x2 minus y2, comma, we multiply 2 inside, we get 2x1 plus 2x2. Now we can rewrite these. So usually, suppose we have a 2 order pair a comma b plus c comma d. So we can add term by term, a plus c comma b plus d. Therefore, whenever we have element like this, we can split into this. So similarly here we can write this nothing but x1 minus y1 comma 2x1 plus x2 minus y2 comma 2x2. Because if you add this term by term, we get the previous term. So therefore, this is nothing but by the definition h of x1 comma y1, and this is nothing but by the definition h of x2 comma y2. Because we subtract the first position is subtraction, second position is multiplication by 2. So this is nothing but capital. We call this x1 comma y1 is capital X. Therefore, this is nothing but h of x This is equal to h of y. Therefore, h of x plus y equal to h of x plus h of y. Therefore, satisfy the first condition. Now, second, if we take alpha times this, so h of some scalar alpha, any scalar alpha times x, capital X. So by the definition, just we got what is we take x equal to x1 comma y1. What is alpha times x? We got to multiply alpha each term. Therefore, x alpha times x1 comma alpha times y1. Now, what is the definition of alpha times this? We have to subtract these two. That is the first coordinate. That is alpha x minus alpha y. And then we have to multiply the first coordinate by 2. Therefore, 2 alpha x. Now, the first we can take alpha common. Therefore, in the first coordinate we get x minus y. The second coordinate we get 2x. But x minus y comma 2x nothing but h of x comma y. So therefore, this is alpha of h of x comma y. But we take x comma y is capital X. Therefore, alpha times h of x. So therefore, this h satisfies two conditions. Therefore, h is linear transformation. So therefore, h is linear transformation. So we have to take term coordinate space. So here we define this h is a function from R2 to R2. So we have to check this is linear or not. First, we have to check the first coordinate is linear or not. This is one function, and this is also one function. So maybe we call f. So f of x comma y equal to x minus y. This is one function from R2 to R, and we have another function g of x comma y or g of x equal to 2x. So the each coordinate is a linear. Then the h is linear. You can say we can use the definition, or directly we can say each coordinate is a linear coordinate. Therefore, the function is linear. Okay. So suppose whenever a function like suppose it contains some x plus 1 or m something. Suppose maybe I can say so. Suppose we have a function like f of x equal to some x plus 5. This is not linear. But anyway, this will look like the linear equation, but this is not linear because 0 does not take to 0. So what is f of 0? F of 0 is 5. Therefore, this is not linear. Linear means 0 should goes to 0. So we can easily eliminate this type of options. Okay. So first you got to check 0 goes to 0 or not. So after that we got to check and the t of alpha x equal to alpha times tx. And then finally we got to check t of x plus y equal to t of x plus t of. Okay. Now these are all examples of linear transformation. So suppose we have a linear transformation from one vector space to another vector space. We have a two subspace. So one is kernel, another one is image. So suppose we have a linear transformation from V to W. Be a linear transformation. Now we have two subspace. One subspace from the domain we call the subspace is kernel of T. Ker T is nothing but we are collecting the elements V in capital V. What is the property satisfied? This V small v should maps to 0. So we are collecting the elements. So definitely it's a linear transformation. Therefore, 0 goes to 0. All other elements also can maps to 0. So we are collecting all the elements which are maps to 0. So this is clearly we can check. So how to check this is subspace? So if you take any two element, okay, suppose I am taking some v comma w in the kernel of T. Now what we have to prove? The sum should be in the set. So since v in kernel of T by that property T of v should be 0. Again, small w is an element of kernel, therefore T of w should be 0. Okay, now we have to show that the sum is in kernel. That means what we have to prove that T of the sum should be 0. We have to prove that the sum takes to 0. So since T is a linear transformation, therefore this is nothing but T of v plus T of w. But we know that T of 0 value is 0, T of w is 0, therefore 0. Since this elements takes to 0, therefore v plus w should be in the kernel. Similarly, you got to put the alpha times v. Suppose if you take alpha in the some field f and v in kernel of T, then we got to prove that the scalar multiplication alpha times v should be in the kernel. That means what we got to prove that T of these should be 0. So since T is linear, therefore this is nothing but alpha times TV. But we are taking V in kernel of T. That means what? T maps to 0. That is T of V is 0. Therefore alpha times 0 is nothing but 0. Therefore alpha V belongs to kernel of T. Therefore, kernel of T is a subspace of the domain V. It's very important subspace. So therefore, any linear transformation, now we produce one subspace. This subspace is called a kernel of T, or sometimes called a null space of T. So this, therefore, this is a subspace. Is a subspace of the domain vector space V. Now we can produce one more subspace, that is image of T. So image of T is nothing but the range space. So we are collecting the range. So range of T sometimes denote IM of T, image of T. So that is, we are collecting all the images T of small v, where small v in capital V. All the images. Now this T of V should be in the W, in the double codomain, right? Okay. Now we have to prove that this is subspace. So for that, you have to take two element. We take some two element x comma y from the image of T. But if you take any element in the image of T, is of the form T of something. Okay. Therefore, this x should be T of something. We call something is some V1. And this y is also the image, therefore y should be T of something. So it takes T of V2. So this V1, V2 is in V from the domain. Now what is the sum? So therefore, sum is nothing but x plus y. What is x? T of V1. What is y? T of V2. But we know that T is linear, therefore T of V1 plus T of V2 is nothing but T of V1 plus V2. Therefore, this, since V1 comma V2 in V, the sum is also in V, small V1, small V2 in capital V. Now, therefore, this x plus y is T of something. Therefore, xy should be in the image. Because x plus y equal to T of some element from the domain, therefore, is in image of T. So next we got to put the scalar multiplication. So if we take any scalar, alpha from F and some x from the image of T, since x in the image of T implies what we know, this x is of the form T of something, we take C of some B where V in capital B. Now what we have to prove? We have to prove alpha x in the image. That means what we have to prove? Alpha x equal to T of something. Okay, some element from the V. So this is equal to alpha times what is Tx? Sorry, what is x? Tv. Now since T is linear, therefore we can take this alpha to inside, therefore T of alpha V. Now since V in V, alpha V is in V, because V is a vector space. So alpha x is T of something from the vector V. Now this image of T subset satisfies all the conditions of subspace. Therefore, it is subspace, but it's subspace in the codomain. Therefore, image of T is of W. Therefore, given any two subspace, given any linear transformation, we have two subspace. One subspace we can produce from the domain, that is called the kernel of the linear transformation. Another one is we can produce in the from codomain. Talk about number of elements. The number of elements, the base is finite. We call it vector space. Number of elements infinite, that is infinite vector space. We can talk about the direction of the sorry, some network issue. Okay, so sorry, some network issue. Now I share my screen. Okay, so I'm audible now. Hello, am I audible? Somebody?
Yes, sir, you are audible, sir.
Okay, thank you. Now, so we have two subspace. Now we can talk about the dimension of these two subspace. Now we define what is nullity. So we define the dimension of the subspace kernel of T is nothing but we define nullity of the linear transformation. Kernel of the dimension of the kernel we call is a nullity. That is the first definition. Second one is the dimension of image of the linear transformation. We define rank of the linear transformation T. Now we already defined rank nullity for the matrix. Now matrix are what is the relation between the matrix and then linear transformation? That is a one question. Now every matrix is nothing but is a linear transformation from. So if we take some specific matrix, suppose if we take A is an M by N matrix. Suppose if we take M is a M by N matrix. Now this A matrix can be viewed as a linear transformation. That is, A is a linear transformation from Rn to Rm. Okay, this M should be dimension of the codomain. This N is a dimension of the domain. That is important. M cross N means what? Is a function from Rn to Rm. So how we define the function? If we take any element, so the A of, if we take any x, we define A into x. Because already we know A, so A is an M by N matrix. If you take any x in Rn, therefore should be N cross 1 matrix. If you product this, we get M by 1 matrix. Therefore that is our Ax. Now we can easily prove that this is a linear transformation. Okay, that is what we have to prove. A of, if we take any two element and sum x plus y, this is nothing but A into x plus y. Okay, this don't confuse this and this. Anyway, both are equal. Here is a product. Now, by the definition of property, therefore we can write A into x plus A into y. And then second property, A of alpha times Ax. So that means what? The scalar, you can take anything, you can out because this is a matrix product. You can take scalar outside, therefore we get A times x. But A times x is nothing but A of x. Okay, therefore every matrix is a linear transformation from where to where. So if it is M by N matrix, then this maps to Rn to Rn. Now for example, if we take some special matrix 2 by 2x, if we take some 2 by 2 matrix, we can view as a linear transformation. Okay, now example, if you take any 2 by 2 matrix, suppose I am taking okay, so better taking 2 by 2, I take some 2 by 3 matrix. So 1 minus 1 some 0. Okay, and here I am taking some 2, 3, 1. Suppose I am taking A is a 2 by 3. Therefore, this A can be viewed is a function from R3, okay, to R2. Number of columns first, number of rows second, the codomain. Now how we define the function? So that is A of, we take any element in R3 is of the form ordered triple x comma y comma z. Okay, this maps to be got to define is in R2, it should be in the ordered pair. So, but what is actually our definition? Maybe we call this is capital X. So for time being, I am taking this capital X nothing but x comma y comma z. So our by definition Ax. So Ax means actually we take A transpose. So X transpose. That is, what is A? A is nothing but 1 minus 1. So what is our aim? So we have to specifically write where this x comma y comma z maps to. So therefore we have to write what is the first question, what is the second question. Now it's nothing but just a product of the matrix. So what is the matrix? A equal to 1 minus 1 0 2 3 1. So this is A. We have to multiply this column vector x y z. So if you multiply this, what you'll get? So this is equal to 1 into x. So this is actually 2 by 3 matrix and this is a 3 by 1 matrix. The product should be 2 by 1. Okay, we get right in the column vector. So therefore, the first entry should be 1 into x is x, 1 into y is minus y, 0 into z is 0. Therefore, the first position is x minus y. Now the second position is 2 times x plus 3 times y plus z. Now this is a matrix. Therefore, we can write here. So our function A, this matrix takes the x comma y to x minus y comma 2x plus 3y plus z. We can easily check that this is a linear transformation because each one is linear transformation. Look at the first position. This is a linear. Again, this is a linear. Therefore, A is linear. Now this A takes this x comma y to x minus y comma 2x plus 3y plus z. Therefore, every matrix is a linear transformation. If it is 2 by 3, then it's a function, it's linear transformation from R3 to R. If it is square matrix, it's a function from R into R. Okay. Now, maybe you can take one more exhibit. Even if you take 3 by 3 matrix or 2 by 2 matrix, everything is a linear transformation. So, every matrix can be viewed as a linear transformation. Now, we can define what is the rank of the matrix. Now, so because it's a linear transformation, therefore, we can talk about the kernel, right? So, if, okay, otherwise let A be an m by n matrix. Suppose if we take any m by n matrix over real number, okay, that is very important. Where we are here, so over reals, then A can be viewed as a linear transformation. A can be viewed as a linear transformation from okay, maybe we call some okay, anyway, from Rn to Rm. That is a function from Rn to Rn. Okay, therefore we can talk about the two subspace kernel and image, right? Therefore, now the dimension of kernel of the matrix A, because A is a now linear transformation. Should be finite dimension. Okay, again, sorry. Let's wait.